Okay, it's going, guys. All right, so today, like I said, we're learning 4 new things. Those 4 new things are going to be our operations with scientific notation. Okay, operations. Guys, what are the 4 operations?
Multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition.
Very good. Multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So those are our 4 new things, is those 4 operations with scientific notation. Okay, the first 2 you guys are going to learn are going to be the most important ones. Okay, so this right here and this right here. Those are our most important ones. Okay, and I'll explain that to you guys in just a little bit. Right, multiplying and dividing numbers in scientific notation, I promise, is pretty simple. Okay, so to multiply numbers in scientific notation, guys, what did we do with our coefficients when it said multiply?
Subtract.
Y'all, what are coefficients? Thank you. We multiplied. So here, to multiply numbers in scientific notation, we're going to multiply the factors. Those are the numbers up front. Okay, so we're going to multiply those numbers up front. And then, guys, what did we do with those exponents? Thank you. We added them. And that's what we're still going to do here. So we're using still those same rules where we multiply the numbers out front and we add the exponents. And y'all, every single time that times 10 is going to stay the same. Okay? If it starts in scientific notation, it's going to stay in scientific notation. All right, so I'm going to zoom into this problem right here. Okay, so the factors out front. What are our 2 factors out front? Good. 1 on this one and 1.3 on this one. And what do I do with that 1 and 1.3? What's 1 times 1.3? 1.3. Very good. Okay. And what did I say is always going to stay the same? Times 10. Thank you, Colby.
Where am I writing this down?
On your notes right here.
I'm having trouble seeing the board.
Okay.
I
Miss Barlow's got you. Okay. Now, what do we have to do with our exponents still? Add them. And what is 6 plus 2? 8. So our new exponent is 8. Okay? So y'all, how hard was that?
Easy.
It was pretty easy. Y'all got this. Can you ask a girl around you? These are my 2 that I'm using. That's all I got. Dylan, they're not around you. Your seat's over there. Okay. So guys, if we can do the multiplication, our division is going to be very similar. To divide numbers in scientific notation, guess what we're going to do with those factors up front? Divide. And remember, when division's happening, what do we do with our exponents? Subtract. Okay, guys, if y'all don't have highlighters, y'all know y'all can circle and box in the numbers, right? Okay, but interrupting me is not helpful. Okay, so divide is the first blank, subtract is the second blank, and then I'm going to zoom back in. Okay? So what are the 2 numbers we're going to divide? Good, 1.3 divided by 1, and what is 1.3 divided by 1? Good, 1.3. And what did we say always stays the same? That times 10. And what do I do with these exponents? Subtract. Now, why is it 2 minus 6? Very good. Top minus the bottom every single time. Top minus bottom, 2 minus 6 gives us negative 4. So our exponent is negative 4. Very good there. And I like how y'all corrected yourselves too. It's awesome. Okay. So guys, even division, how hard is that?
It's pretty easy.
Pretty easy, okay? Because we're still using those same skills that we've already used before in our exponents. We're just applying them right now to scientific notation. Okay, y'all got this. All right, so now we're going to zoom back out. There we go. All right, so let's practice these practice problems here. Okay. 3.4 times 10 squared times 4.8 times 10 to the 6. So what 2 numbers do I multiply? Good. 3.4 times 4.8. 3.4 times 4.8. 1632. Okay, and then what always comes next? Times 10. And what do I do with those exponents? We add them. 2 and 6 is 8. Okay, any questions where I got any of this from?
Yeah.
What?
I don't get how you know which one's division.
There's a bar. When things are side by side, they're multiplying. The bar lets us know it's dividing. Okay? Alex, make sure you're listening right now, okay? Are you listening?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there is something very important that there's an issue here with. Look at this number, 16.32. Guess what this is not in? It's not in scientific notation. Trip. This is not in scientific notation. Why is this not in scientific notation?
Because there's 2 in front of the decimal.
There are 2 numbers in front of the decimal. There's only supposed to be 1 number, 1 digit in front of the decimal. Okay? So we have to rewrite this, and we want our decimal to be right behind that 1. We want it to be 1.632. Because this is scientific notation. This is not. Okay? Then we have to do times 10. Now the question is, our exponent was 8. So does it become 9 or does it become 7?
9.
Why is it going to become 9?
Because the 7 is to the left. It's a bigger number.
Very good. When we move it to the left, remember that's positive exponent, so that's a plus 1 exponent. It was 8 plus another move gives us an exponent of 9. Very good, y'all. Very good. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Yes.
On the division 1, 7.56.
Okay, we're not there yet. We're not there yet, bud. What?
If you moved it 3 times, it would have been 8 plus.
8 plus 3. And if we had moved it back the other way, it would have been 8 minus. Okay? Good question. All right. Let's look at number 2. 7.56 times 10 to the 8th. There's a bar, so divided by 3.15 times 10 to the 3rd. So what do we have to do with these front numbers? Very good. We have to divide 7.56. 7.56 divided by 3.15 gives us 2.4 times 10. And then what do I do with those exponents? Subtract. Remember, when it's division, we subtract them.
Positive 4. 5.
Positive 5. Positive 5. Very good. Any questions on either of these? Do y'all understand why we had to do this extra step right here?
Yes.
Okay. So no questions at all for me? Okay. All right. So guys, this right here, these two, multiplying and dividing, those are going to be our 2 most important ones. These are going to be on your test. Okay, these are going to be on your test. Today we're also going to talk about adding and subtracting because I think it's important that y'all see it, but it's not going to be on your test. That doesn't mean y'all don't listen to me. Trip. That means we pick up our head. Okay? But they're not going to be on your test. They are a little bit more difficult, so I'm going to show you guys first one way to do it. And then I'm going to show you a second way to do it, and it's going to be really easy, I promise, okay? So the first time we do it, y'all might be like, what in the world? But then I'm going to show you another way, and you're going to be like, are you kidding me? Okay? Because that's how y'all respond to things, okay? So when adding or subtracting in scientific notation, the exponents must have the same number. They must have the same number or value. They have to be the same number, okay? Then you can add or subtract the factors, so those numbers out front, and our exponents will stay the same. So we can add, subtract the factors, and exponents keep the same. Okay? Number.
How are you going to keep the exponents the same?
Once we're going to change them to be the same, and then it's going to stay the same. Okay? So we'll practice one, and then we'll practice one like addition, one subtraction, and then I'll show you guys another way to do it. Okay? So on A, We have 5.45 times 10 to the third plus 3.12 times 10 to the fourth. Notice, are our exponents the same?
No.
No. That means we have to make them the same. Okay? Because our rule is that they have to have the same exponent. So would y'all like to change the 3 to the 4 or the 4 to a 3?
3 to the 4.
3 to the 4. Okay. So we're going to change this number here. If we want to change this exponent to times 10 to the fourth power, we want to increase by 1. So are we moving our decimal to the left one or the right one to plus an exponent? To the left one. Very good. Okay, so if y'all remember those arrows on our notes, y'all remember what I'm talking about? These arrows right here. When we move to the left, that gives us a positive 1 exponent. So that means our new decimal is going to be what? 0.545. Good. So we move it over 1 times 10 to the fourth. And then do we have to change anything over here? No, because it's already times 10 to the fourth. So 3.12 times 10 to the fourth power. Okay. Now that we have the same exponents, what do we do with these numbers out front?
Add one.
We just add them. That's it. Okay? Because it says plus in the middle. Y'all see that? It says plus. So we're going to add this number plus this number. Y'all doing that for me? Very good. So I'm hearing 2 good answers. Okay, when we combine, when we add these 2 factors out front, 3.665. Now, it's still in scientific notation, times 10, and our exponent stays the same, so it's still to the fourth power since these were both to the fourth power. Very good. Yes, ma'am?
36,650.
Yours isn't in scientific notation anymore, is it? Okay, we're adding right here. Do you see the plus sign? Yeah, we're adding. Careful with that. Okay? Our rule is that our exponents have to be the same number. So we have to make our exponents the same first, and then we can add or subtract whichever we're supposed to do these numbers up front. Question, is our answer in scientific notation?
Yes.
Yes, because there's only 1 digit, 1 number in front of this decimal, so we're still doing good here. All right? That wasn't too tricky, was it? No? Okay. All right. Let's look at B. This time, what operation's happening? Subtraction. Now, our rule is still the same. We have to get the same exponent. So, do y'all want to change -5 or -6? Okay, you want to change -6? Are y'all good with changing -6? Okay, so that means we're going to keep this one the same. 2.67 times 10 to the -5th power. That's going to stay exactly the same. And we're going to change this other one. Minus. So if we want to change -6 to -5, how do we go from -6 to -5? Good. We've got to move the right one. We're going to move to the right one because when we move to the right, hang on. No.
Yeah, I'm like, what? That's to the left.
You got to go to the left because -6. What's -6 minus 1?
5.
-6 minus 1?
It's plus. It's -7.
That'd be -7. So we got to do -6 plus 1 to get -5. We got to do -6 plus 1 to get -5. So to go plus 1, sorry y'all, my brain stopped working. To go plus 1, we got to move to the left 1 number. So we've got to go up front. I'm sorry, y'all. That's my fault. Okay? So that would become 0.42 times 10 to the -5th power. Sorry, guys. Okay? Now what can we do with these numbers out front? We can just subtract them. 2.67 minus 0.42. Very good. 2.25 times 10, and what's our exponent? -5. It stays the same since they're both the same at this point. Okay? Now, I'm going to teach you guys something new. And y'all just be happy that I'm teaching you it all. Okay? So I don't want to hear any groaning. Trip, put your head up. I'm sorry. Okay? So here's what I need y'all to do. Everybody got your handy dandy calculator? Look, here's our calculator. Okay? And I got a glare. I'm going to try to keep it. Okay. Here's what I want you to do. Because these calculators are called scientific calculators. That means they can do scientific notation. There's one right there. You have buttons on yours. I'll show you in just a second. Okay? So, everybody follow me. Look. Press the second button. Then, do you see right here where it says SCI? Yours is number 5, I think. It should be above the number 5. You see it? So, press that button right there. Tariq, at the bottom of your calculator, it should already say SCI. It already changed it for you. Okay? Those of you with this calculator, do you see right here the SCI?
Yes.
That stands for scientific. We need to go over, and then we press enter. And then at the bottom of our calculator, right here in those tiny little letters, it lets us know our calculator is now in scientific notation. And again, you're at second, this button right here, SCI/ENG. You're going to go under this one right here and press enter. What?
That's why my calculator wasn't working, just because it was in there. I remember saying SCI.
Huh? Thank you. Okay, and then yours is already on scientific notation, so you're good, right? Okay. Now, guys, here is the thing. Okay? We're going to do these 2 practice problems down here in our calculator. Okay? Now, the rule is, though, okay, I need y'all to listen very carefully right now. Listen, 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 listen. You need to use the parentheses. Okay? Even if y'all look on the back, these problems on the back don't have parentheses. But every time you're typing in scientific notation, you need to have parentheses around each individual scientific notation. Okay? Especially when multiplying and dividing. Okay? But right now we're still going to do it. So we're going to do parentheses, and we're going to type this in exactly as it says. 1.7 times 10.
What?
We're plugging in practice problem number 1. Remember, how do we do to the 7th power? Yep, that arrow pointing up to the 7th power. Close parentheses. Okay, so that's the first number. That's my first number plugged into my calculator. Does yours look like mine? Just make sure. What? You got the answer? Okay, hang on. I want to make sure everybody knows what they're doing. What's wrong? It won't let you do this? Okay, hang on. Then we can do plus, and then we can type in the other one. Parentheses, 6.25 times 10, arrow, 5th power. Okay, so there is that one. Enter. Guys, look, it's in scientific notation. 1.7625, and y'all see that tiny little times 10? It's little bitty. And it's to the 7th power. Okay, make sure you guys are able to get this on your calculator. Make sure your calculator, you know how to put it in scientific notation. Okay, so 1.7625 times 10 to the 7th power. Okay, guys, guess what? If we can add scientific in our calculator, what can we do? We can subtract, okay? So same thing. What are we going to make sure we put around our scientific notation? Parentheses. So parentheses, 2.84 times 10 to the 11th power. 2.84 times 10 to the 11th power. Close your parentheses. And this time we're subtracting. So minus. And then 5.4 times 10 to the 10th power. 5.4 times 10 to the 10th power. Okay, guys, again, make sure you can do this in your calculator. Because I'm teaching y'all a new trick. And on your test, if you ask me how to do this trick, I'm going to shrug. How to use our calculator. Uh-oh. Did I do something wrong? I did something wrong.
Yes, and it's like,
How do you turn it off?
brightness point at 9:15.
Just
If you go to the back
What was
and
that
hit
for?
reset.
Sydney, are we being rude right now? I left out my parentheses, and I can admit that I left out my parentheses. Okay? So, 2.3 times 10 to the 11th power. Okay, are y'all understanding how I'm reading this right here? Okay, yes, sir. Okay. 2.3 times 10 to the 11th power.